Hi, PDF patterns printed on our A4 printers are a great way of getting instant access to a pattern. So today we're going to have a little look at the best way of printing and collating a PDF pattern. The pattern I'm going to be using is for a wrap skirt, but actually the principles I'm going to use will be the same for any PDF pattern. So let's get started. It's essential that you test the size your printer is printing to. Make sure that on the drop-down boxes under scale you've chosen actual size, and just print the page with the test square so that you can measure that and test that your size is correct before you print your whole pattern. And you can see here I'm just measuring my test square to make sure it measures that inch and that my pattern is going to print to the accurate size. So once all that's done, you're ready to print. Just before you press print, just check that your scale hasn't reverted back to fit to page and that you're still on actual size, and you can press all pages. Because there's no colour on this particular pattern, I'm going for monochrome, but if your pattern's in colour, obviously you'll want to select colour there, and you're ready to print. So here I am with my pile of printing. I've got my layout page on the top. You can see each page has a number. There's some shaded areas on this particular PDF where I don't need to put any pieces of paper, but you can put a blank piece of paper if you want. And you can see at the top of each page there's a number, so I can easily see where each of my pages go. So now I need to collate some sort of order. So what I like to do is work in rows. I like to sort my pile into the numbered rows. So in my first row I've got pieces 1 to 5, so I've selected those to work with first. Now I'm lucky enough to have a little paper cutter, so I can trim my edges with a paper cutter, but obviously if you haven't got that, scissors work just as well. And I'm going to trim off just my right hand edge and the bottom edge of each sheet. So all my trimming is done and I'm ready to join things together. I'm going to just use sellotape, but you can use any sort of glue stick or tape to join them together. And I'm going to just work in rows. So my first row will be sections 1 to section 5. You can see there I've got some blanks at the end, and 11 and 17 aren't really going to connect to anything at the moment, so I'm just going to leave those loose. You will need to join your pieces really accurately, so I'm carefully putting that cut line and overlapping it with the flap of the next section. So you can see now why it's important not to trim away all of your edges, and I'm just going to use sellotape to carefully join those pattern sections together. So I've carried on joining my rows together, and now I've moved to an area in my house where I've got a big floor space. You do need quite a big space to be able to lay things out and join them together, and I haven't got a big enough space in my cutting room. So here I am with my rows laid out, and you can see now the pattern beginning to take shape. I've used some little pattern weights to keep my rows together while I've been joining things, and here I am with my pattern sections joined together. You'll notice on this pattern I've still got 2 more rows to join on, but because none of the pattern pieces cross between those rows, and to make things a little less unwieldy, I'm going to join those together separately. So here's my last 2 rows joined together, and they create 2 complete pattern pieces, so I don't really need to go to the bother of joining those onto my other sections. And I'm ready to go. My pattern's all joined together and I'm ready to select my size and start my making process. Well, I hope you found this little tutorial about working with PDF patterns useful, and it will start you on your journey of working with online patterns. This has been a Sew with Nellie B tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to you joining me again soon, and in the meantime, happy stitching.